Hey, peace and blessings. Rob YB Youngblood, your number one connector, coming at you with episode 4 of Thoughts of a Connector. I want to thank you for joining me once again. I am the Chief Connecting Officer of YB Connects, and I focus on increasing the visibility, credibility, and profitability of my clients. Now, that's what I do for a profession, but my gift is connecting and promoting. And so the purpose of this platform is to basically share my thoughts, to be able to be accountable as it pertains to creating content, but also to empower, inspire, and impact you so that you can live out your God-given purpose. And we talked a little bit about purpose in a previous episode, so definitely capture that or catch that if you haven't watched that before. But in this episode, today's word is adjustment. And I'm going to talk a lot about adjustment throughout the next few days because that is something that, as a high eye on the DISC scale, for those of you who are big on the DISC assessment, you know that we are huge people pleasers. We are people oriented. We are fast paced. We are very much inspiring. Very much have the energy, right? But oftentimes we have to make the adjustment in order to really be able to get to where we need to be in life. And I learned this from a mentor of mine, a coach of mine, who helped me as I was transitioning into, I believe, 2018, to understand that while being inspiring and being people oriented is my natural side, it isn't very what's the word I want to use? It isn't very productive when it comes to business, right? He taught me that it was very important that I learn to be direct in my approach, especially when dealing in business, because I used to traditionally believe that if I approach someone a certain way or if I communicated a certain way, then people would automatically understand and treat me the same way. Well, that doesn't always happen. And so the advice that I received, which I'm sharing with you, which is an adjustment that I made after receiving the feedback, was to be direct in my business dealings. Now, what does that mean? That means that instead of me assuming that a person would have my best interests at heart, it meant put my interest first. I used to always hear people say, YB, you have to take care of yourself. Don't worry about other people. And I didn't really like that language because in my mind, it made me feel like I had to be selfish. It made me feel like I had to be ruthless. It made me feel like I had to step on people. But what I learned as I began to grow was that it wasn't about being anything of those negative side. It was mostly about this whole concept. And let me put it to you this way. If you fly on a plane, before the plane takes off, the, the, uh, the flight attendants will announce that they're going to do a presentation. And they often pull out the mask and they talk about if at any point this plane loses cabin pressure, the mask will come down. And what they encourage everyone to do is to put the mask on you first. And that will then give you the opportunity to help or support the person that's right next to you. And that made so much sense. And so after I learned that, it helped me to realize that being direct is not about being disrespectful. It's not about being ruthless. It's not about, just, focusing on me solely. It gives us the opportunity to establish a mutually beneficial relationship. So let me give you an example. Say, for example, you are looking to do business, or if someone approaches you because you have a gift or skill of connecting and they want you to do the work for them, and they're not really talking about anything monetizing or money or revenue, but you want to get into a point where you monetize your gift. Well, what I typically do is I start off the conversation by level setting the expectation. And what I typically will say is, just want to let you know, Joe, that my goal is to increase the visibility of your project. And I love to do that. And in the past, my clients have provided me with compensation for utilizing my talent and gift to be able to assist them in attracting their ideal client. Joe, is this something that you have a desire for? Now, for some of you listening, you might say, wow, like, why would you even say that? Like, what if he says no? Like, what if he's not interested in that? Well, it could be one of the other answers. It could be a yes or a no. If he says no, then he's not interested in what I'm interested in. Okay. He's interested in what he's interested in, and that's fine for him, but that's not fine for me. And because I know who I am, because I know what I'm looking for, because I know what value I bring to the marketplace, I am willing to get a no because it saves me time and it prevents me from being frustrated. And as a connector, you will often be frustrated because you will expect people to do for you what you would do for them, but they don't operate the way that you operate. And so, unless you make the adjustment, unless you're willing to change how you communicate with people based on how you operate, you will be frustrated most of the time. And that was me. And I had to make the adjustment. And so, in making that adjustment, what it did was, and I mentioned this earlier, it saved me time. It prevented me from being frustrated, but also it put me in a position to begin to monetize my gift. And that's what I want to encourage you to do as you continue to grow as a connector, as you continue to walk in your gift, as you begin to communicate effectively on who you are, what you do, why you do what you do, who you serve, and the results that you get. Because keep in mind, if you're getting results, people are going to be attracted to you. Okay, they're gonna see, man, this person is a connector, this person has a lot of energy, this person is positive. I want to be with that person. Now the challenge is they want to be with you, they want the results, they want what you have. But if they're not willing to make the investment, do they really value you? And I want you to give that some thought. So as you go into this new year, as you continue to grow in this new year, make the adjustment. Okay. Overcome the fear of rejection, overcome the fear that comes with being direct because you feel like you might hurt someone's feelings. You're not going to hurt their feelings. If anything, you're going to open up the door and the dialogue to be able to build a mutually beneficial relationship. And that's all we want to do, especially as a connector. You don't want to be taken advantage of because of your gift. You want it to be mutually beneficial. And so today's episode, I want to dedicate to my alpha brother, Tim Reid, who is an actor, who is a TV, just a serious mogul when it comes to communication. And I shared a message in my LinkedIn post today. Shout out to Daphne Reid, aka Aunt Viv, on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. She shared something on her Facebook page about her husband Tim, who launched a new network, and I want you to check it out. So I want you to go to my LinkedIn profile. You'll see the link in the description. You'll see the post that I put out there about Tim Reid. Is called "The Legacy of a Legacy of a Network, I believe. I may have gotten that incorrectly, but check it out anyway. I will make sure to post the correct information, the correct link on my LinkedIn profile. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull it up now because I don't like things to be incorrect, especially because I am not editing this video and I want to make sure that this is correct. But Tim Reid, many of you may have known him from various shows that he's done, and he's a phenomenal actor. But yeah, he put out it's called Legacy of a People. Legacy of a People. Okay, so go to my LinkedIn profile. You will see the post that I put out there. And Tim Reid is one of my Alpha brothers. And shout out to him. So this episode, episode 4, I dedicate to my Alpha brother, Tim Reid, who recently launched a network called Legacy of a People. And let me tell you what Legacy of a People is. It's a network that showcases content for, by, and about the Africa diaspora. Legacy of a People features documentaries, lifestyles, and fashion, stories from the motherland, comedy, animation, sports, and more. So I'm going to drop the link to that information below. Check it out, view it, follow, share. Let's get the word out. As connectors, that's what we do. Now, keep in mind, I'm not being compensated by Tim Reid to share this information. I'm doing it because I see value in giving. And here's what I know. To whom much is given, much is required. But giving is a significant strategy for personal and professional growth. Some people might say, well, you're just doing that because you want to make money. And I'll be real with you. I understand my gift. And I understand that when I choose to do something, I do it because I want to do it. If somebody comes to me and say, hey, YB, can you share this information on your platform? Can you put this out? Absolutely. The advertising rate is X. Why? Because now they want me to do it for them. It's not something that I initially wanted to do. So that's the transition and the adjustment that I had to make as a connector. And that's what I encourage you to do as well. Be encouraged, be blessed, but most of all, share the faith. I'm Rob YB Youngblood, your #1 connector. And this is episode 4 of Thoughts of a Connector. We'll talk soon. Peace.